In the age ago, in a time now almost forgotten, heroes of the realm were abundant. Adventure, spirits, and wonder blew throughout the skies and over its land, as easy as a breeze in a spring afternoon. Memories forgotten, the great heroes of the realm vanished, and their deeds became myth. No one can say for certain where or why they left. Perhaps it was for greater treasures across the seas. Others say they went to fight the gods of the heavens and hells themselves. Of course, the common people remained, the farmers, craftsmen, the men and creatures of the earth. And from deep beneath the earth, the darkness saw this abandonment. Far in the crust, the darkness grew and spread. It sent out its minions, gathered and pillaging, spreading forth its all-consuming will. It tore down, burned, and defiled the temples of the gods that the people had forgotten. The heroes never returned, and evil subdued the righteous. Empires were broken, kingdoms became vassals, and lords became serfs. The darkness crawled over the mountains and through the land and into the air, and no one could escape its tyranny. The people scattered and broken. The monsters and beasts had dominion over the world once again. Do you feel it? Something strange. Something I've not felt in a long time. It's like a wind rustling the leaves in autumn. Something familiar. What is your character thinking?
What she's thinking? She must be a bit on edge. A bit fearful, on her guard. Yeah.
Clanging, bashing, banging. You almost became a refugee, but your skills and wits kept you clever. Working for the final armies of men during the fall, smithing, tending the wounded, counterintelligence, until, of course, the age of men ended. But after the fall of Geddon, most of the gnomes and their knowledge was lost. You found your way eastward across Orin to Stormbrook, one of the major port cities, now garrisoned by the forces of darkness. You, the Urks, walk around, skin black as a moonless night, horribly scarred, ruling through intimidation and fear. You need your weapon. You heard of the master smith, taught in the gun and powder, almost forgotten now. The morning is early. Let me change the time then now on the table here. The time is 8 o'clock in the morning. I just have it marked on the table, right? So you don't need to write it down if you don't want to.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because the time will roll as we play.
Yeah.
You're tired, hungry. The famine of the land has made you conserve your food wisely, but you only have 1 day of rations left. Thousands of people in the streets are starving, and those like yourself that have a skilled craft can make money and pay for food. Wilner sees you come into his shop. He looks up at you. The shop of gears, gizmos, and gadgets. He must be bribing the Urks. to remain open. Oh, I'm going to send you a picture. So now opening up Zoom chat, right? And I'm going to send you a picture of this guy.
Mm.
If I can pull him up. Yep, there he is. Here he is. So I sent a little thing to you and that. So I say, hey, I'm going to send you a picture. This is what Wilner looks like.
Sorry, I can't see it. Wait.
I just clicked it and sent it to you in Zoom chat. So now you can pick it up.
Oh, here. Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep, I got him.
Perfect. So Wilner sees you. Come in. Hand me that spanner.
Yes, okay, sir.
You
I'll give him whatever I think a spanner is.
Let's roll. I'll roll an insight check. So you see I hear the roll. You don't make the roll, I do.
Yes.
You know what the spanner is. So you go up and grab it. You hand it to him. He's like, You seem to know your gears quite a bit. As he's wrenching, some device on the ground.
Yeah. So Mallory is just excited to see more tinkering gadget, like some gnome crafts she haven't seen in a while. So she's just looking with a bit of an awe in her eyes, and then she snaps back and is like, yes. I would need some equipment. I got a little project I'd like to make, and I would like some advice in equipment.
Hand me the other one.
The other spanner?
He hands it. He's holding it in his hand.
Oh, yes. And then grab it.
Hand me the socket bridge.
And I go get the socket bridge and hand it to him.
I see you're wearing the gnome insignias.
Yes. I grew up in Gador.
Geddon.
Geddon. I grew up in Geddon.
Ish Maranhinad. He speaks to you in Gnomish.
What did he say in... No, because I understand Gnomish, but what would be...
Exactly. You do speak Gnomish. He just says, he's like, what do you need?
I would need...
Are you speaking back to him in Gnomish?
I speak to him back in Gnomish. I would need a few gears, and I describe him the size I would need for a pistol. But I don't say him it's a pistol. I say him it's a clockwork thing, and I need this and this kind of gear.
What kind of gear again? What?
Trying to remember what the blueprints are. A gear to make probably like a shooting tool.
Hand me the socket gears.
Socket gears, yes. Go get the socket gears, and then before
Thank
handing
you.
it in, just go. Trying to figure out what you're gonna do because I feel like it's going
You need some gears. You need some this. What are you trying to make?
It's this project I've had with my master for a while, and it's kind of a crossbow with more metals and less wood.
You need a crossbow?
No, I have my crossbow already. I want to make an evolved version of a crossbow, but with clockwork parts.
For speaking the Gnomish tongue, you have a lot of gibberish.
Yeah.
Spit it out! What do you need? I can't give you a price if I don't know what it is. Hand me that wrench.
It's just me not knowing actually what the parts are.
And grab me my hammer. Make yourself useful.
Alright.
His shop is just filled with gizmos and gears, and just you kind of feel like a little bit of heaven, but Geddon is here, but it's still like things are hanging off the beams, put in. It's still kind of like a clusterous mess. He's kind of a little, maybe a little weirdo, but for Gnomish, that's normal.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to get around, because I feel like she wouldn't be willy-nilly like, oh, I'm making a gun. She'd be like, I had this thing that can potentially be dangerous, but I want to do it to save my ass, kind of thing.
You're trying to make one of those thunder buffs then, huh? Or you need a pistol.
Yeah.
Spit it out then. Tell me what you need.
Because that's the thing. She maybe knows what she needs, but I don't know what I need.
You need a pistol. You need the gears.
Yeah, I need the gears. I need some gunpowder. I need some bullets that I can make. Yeah.
Well, guess what? I have all the parts. But I need one part
What did you
that
need?
I don't have. Well, as you know, the town is constantly being thugs and criminals, and the Urks go around pushing people around. And I got shaken down last week by a guy named Wildner.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not Wildner. His name is Kelman.
Kelman.
He's over at the Thieves Guild, right down the street. I can make it for you, but it'll cost some money. But you got to get this part from him. He has the part. He's a little gnome himself. He came into my shop, trying to boss me around.
Okay.
And he saw this thing on one of my desks and took it. And there's nothing I can do. But if you want me to make it, you give me that, then I charge you for the pistol. I charge you for that. But you got to go get it from him. And he's not a nice guy.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. Well, hand me that wrench while you're at it.
Yes. Give it the wrench.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So, what is that piece that he gave Fusa? I won't just ask him. Oh, I give you this piece, and he was like, "What piece are you talking about? Like, what is the actual?"
It's a large gear that's used to help, ignite the powder.
All right.
It's made of a special metal, so it doesn't break on you every time you pull the trigger.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so I'll go to check that and to get that. All right. Okay.
Well, he's right down the street at the Thieves Guild.
All right, so
He gives you the directions to where to go. He's like, it's down there, south of here, near the docks.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
it.
I went close to that. All right.
He doesn't know what to do with the part. He doesn't know what it is, but he thought it was valuable, obviously, because I made it. I don't make junk around here. I mean, look around my shop.
No, this is beautiful. I'm so happy to see all this.
Well, his name is Kelman.
I'll go see that, and I say to him in Gnomish, please do not tell anyone that you're making me a gun.
It's just between you and me. Now, here's the thing. In town, you can carry arms. You can carry weapons. The Urks don't confiscate your weapons. You snuck into town. If you didn't sneak into town, they would steal all your rations. Even though you only have 1 day's rations left. Because of the famine that's happening, all the Urks are seizing all the grains. Do you leave the shop?
Yeah, I leave the shop. Yeah.
And you head towards the
guild.
The Thieves Guild.
Yeah.
He kind of gave you some general directions. And you see people, the people of Stormbrook, there's like a lot of starvation. Children, women, men are on the streets. And, it's not a nice place. So, it's just not a great thing. I mean, there's people suffering. You're kind of dressed, I'm guessing, more like a steampunk character. Why don't you describe your character? What does she look like?
So Malory, she is a fairly small human. She's like 4'10", so she's very small. Black hair, very short black hair, blue eyes, and she has this kind of long coat with big sleeve, but is very, very worn.
Do you have like a kind of the cape thing we were talking about, or does it have the two capes kind of thing?
It has like it has like
the tail or whatever it is.
Yeah, it has like chunky sleeves, but it's very worn because it's been like passed down.
You have short hair, right?
Yeah, short black brown hair.
You've cut your hair because in the wartime you don't want people to pull your hair in combat when you get in close combat with them.
Yeah, and also if I look a bit more masculine, people don't look at me like a prize to be won. So
sure,
it's also more practical. I don't have to braid it or whatever.
Sure. Most of the men that when they shave their hair, the Urks have all their hair braided, sometimes mohawks. The Urks, their eyes are pitch black. And in the darkness, they have two beady red eyes. And they walk around town usually in groups of about 5 of them with battle axes. and they just run it. They just run through intimidation. You're passing by the docks because you said to go south to where the docks are at.
Yeah, I trying to go through without.
So here's the map.
Attracting attention.
Yep. Let me just pull up the map here real quick. And so the map is here, and so you're like basically, here for all technical purposes, and then you just go down the street a little bit, but you can see the docks and all the ships, and all the ships of grain are just leaving are leaving. There's sometimes dinghies and stuff that are coming into the harbors. Mm-hmm. That this whole reason why the Urks are here is this is a very strategic, logistic point. The grain is coming into the city from the farms that the Urks gather and tax on all the humans. The Urks are not everywhere. There's only 100 Urks in total of the garrison that are guarding the city of about 25,000 people. They rule through pure fear and intimidation. And people are just starving and broken. They don't put up a fight. But the people who have money, like this gnome, he bribes, the Urks to kind of stay in business, or he's taxed pretty heavily or extorted. And of course, there's these, you think to yourself as you're about to go meet this thief at the Thieves Guild, this is just a way of life. This is not uncommon that people just kind of walk over each other, that they're kind of out for each other. And you have your crossbow, on your side. You wear it on your side. Now, if you draw your weapon on an Urk, that's punishable by death, and they want you to draw it on them because they love battle. They love to see bloodshed. So, but nobody does it because they're not stupid. And as you entered Stormbrook, over the ramparts, or as you broke into Stormbrook, we'll say, you saw on the ramparts bodies just hanging over the ledge of people they punish that break the law. Okay, so you make your way into the Thieves Guild. Let's load it up. I could have blindfolded you, but you can see it load, I guess. It's going to take a second to load. It's thinking. So when I load the models and stuff, this there might be a custom model error that comes up. I just hit the X button on it when it's totally done loading. You're at 48, now you're at 77%. And that's why I blindfold you, so you're fully loaded by the time it comes in.
Yeah.
And that's just based off your computer speed and everything like that, what you're playing on.
Yeah, okay.
Boom. And now we're here. This is sort of like you've come in through here, so we're going to get your character model as an example. And we're putting you right here. You see the people starving here, kind of just doing about their daily life as you kind of come into the Thieves Guild. If I can move you over here. My thing just locked. I'm just going to actually just copy paste you in. And boom. You hear this as you walk in. You see the barkeep, and you see the gnomes that he said that were going to be here. Mm-hmm. And you overhear him. He says, "And that's when I said you should see the other guy's feet. Barkeep, few more rounds." And this guy's like preparing some drinks. What do you do?
What do I do? While he's preparing the drinks, I just kind of lean on the bar and just whisper to him.
To the barkeep?
Yeah, do you know that guy? And then slip him a single gold coin.
Now, a gold coin is a lot of money. A day's...
Or maybe a silver, maybe.
Yeah, you can denominate it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know how to split the money.
So I'll describe it to you.
Yeah.
From what I understand, 3 silver pieces is an ounce of silver. An ounce of silver is 1 day's labor.
Okay, yeah.
So if you slip this guy a gold, that's equivalent to 10 silver pieces or 3 days full labor.
Yeah. So I'll give him
that would mean you're almost aristocratic. I mean, they're just throwing money around.
All right, so
popping bottles in the club.
Not that much. I still need money for my gun. So I'll give him I guess I'll give him 3 copper, I guess.
He looks at it and he's like, "What do you want?"
I need.
This man, he's like a little tired. You know, he's just probably been up all night. It's early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna move the timer down to, just for technical purpose, to 8:30.
I need to talk to Kalman.
Talman?
Kalman. Yeah.
Oh, Kalman, he's right over there.
Yeah.
He's that gnome right there. He
Yeah.
points over to this old guy.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. And I give him an extra cover.
So you mark it on your character sheet.
Character sheet on dndbeyond. Where is she? She is here.
So I'm going to send you a picture of Kelman here.
Copper.
That is a picture of Kelman. And I'm going to message you it. His skin is a little darker. He's smoking a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
He's just having a few drinks. He's armed, you know, with some daggers. He's some kind of rogue or thief. You don't know his whole story. So.
Okay.
And what do? So you walk. I'm going to move your character model up to him.
Yeah, so I go. Yeah, so I go walk to him.
He looks at you as you approach him. He's like, smokes a cigar.
Yeah.
As you watch it, and you hear like almost like silver, like your character walks almost like spurs, right? You have like this clanging of metal almost. You're not very quiet.
Unfortunately.
You have like your belt and your crossbow.
Yeah.
And he just looks at you with his blank stare.
Okay.
And the barkeep comes over and puts some drinks down on the table.
Okay. So what I do is that
They're obviously sitting on the chair, but I can't put him. So he's about 4 foot tall though. So he's about
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So,
Perfect scale is it's not perfectly scaled, but it's okay.
Yeah. So I go up to him, not like close to him, like maybe a few feet before going to him, and
So each inch is 5 feet. So if you want to get next to him, talk to me. It's like there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So I go up to him and say, so
Spit it out. Spit it out
Right.
there. Don't just stand there, lady.
Look, I don't want to make I don't want to cause trouble or anything. You've taken something from
Who's
my
causing trouble? He looks around.
You've stolen something from my friend, and it would be nice if you give him back to him.
What I steal? I steal a lot of things from a lot of people. You hear the
Oh,
other
I
two
have no
gnomes
doubt.
chuckle a little bit.
I have no doubt of that.
Everything has a price.
I just want to check something.
He like looks you up and down a little bit.
It's +1, okay. Alright. So you've stolen a big gear from the tinker down the street. And I kinda need that.
What guy? What did I steal and what? Who? He pulls out his dagger and slams it on the table.
You like games? Calvin?
I do. What do you have in mind?
How this is so stupid. How about
He blows the
I don't know.
smoke like right at you.
how about a little bit of a drinking game?
It's 8:30 in the morning. We've been partying all night.
Well, maybe you'll
I'm
be
about to
able
go to
go
bed
later.
myself. From what I hear, there's going to be a lot of trouble tonight. I want to get to bed early and be ready for it.
Alright, then give me the gear so you can go to bed.
How about
Right
you
now,
pay
if
me
you
for
want.
the gear? He looks at your pack, stuff. He's like, I don't like humans, so you're no use to me that way, but I'll take your all your money and your rations.
How do I do intimidation? I don't know what to do.
Do you want to try to intimidate him?
I want to intimidate, but I don't know how to intimidate him because I'm trying to
He has the
figure out
dagger on the table, just
Yeah.
sitting there. He pulls out the other dagger and he's like, starts ledgermenting it a little bit. He's like, he's very skilled
Yeah.
with a dagger.
Yeah, he's like, he's just an asshole. I want to do some. I want to intimidate him, but I don't want him to like stab me. What do I do? I'm gonna say Find a thing to do. Find a thing to do. What do I do? This is so hard. This is so much harder than I thought it would be.
Don't just stand there. I said I want all your gold and your rations. If you want that stupid gear, it doesn't mean a damn thing to me. I just took it because that dumb tinker is always playing around with junk.
I'm gonna say in shit decisions. It's fucking shit. Damn it! I don't know.
He takes a drink of the drink that the barkeep made over. You're very tongue-tied, aren't you? You knocked the drink out of his hand?
Yeah.
You have to make an attack roll to do that. And he has the daggers and stuff on the table. Are you sure you want to do that? You want to try to just piss him off?
The fuck do I do? This is like, why? I need to figure out something. Because I don't want it to end up in a bar fight because I'm going to die because there's 3 people around here.
You're outnumbered.
Yeah. Wait, Malory, what do you have? You have history, insight, perception, persuasion, for survival. That doesn't fucking help me.
He starts making like little rings in the air, and he's just loving this. He's watching you squirm. He's like, I've never seen such a greenie in my life. Your skin might be pink, but your heart is green. Let's see how gold your pockets are, though.
I'm trying to find a good insult.
She wants this real bad.
I'm not fucking. I know I should be doing something. What?
Not all day, lady. Put the coin on the table, and I'll give you your freaking gear and the rations.
Tell you what, I'll give you.
You're gonna give me, yeah, exactly. Give me all what you got.
So what I got, I mean, I don't have a lot. I just have like 2 gold. I have nothing.
Are you trying to deceive him?
Yes.
I'm gonna roll a deception check. Are you trying to? So you try to deceive him?
Yes.
I rolled a natural 20 for you.
Fuck.
No, that's good. Natural 20 is good.
Me. Okay, I thought it was for him.
No,
okay,
that's a natural 20 for you to deceive him.
Okay.
So you tell you're like, I only have 2 gold. He's like, these fucking orcs take everybody's money when they get in this city. And you got any rations though? I want those fucking rations. Put the gold on the table. 2 gold. This fucking tinker's toy. I want to see that gold right now. He takes a drink, hard drink, feeling like he just got ripped off a little bit.
Okay, so
Give me your rations, though. I see him on you.
Fuck it. So I give him the 2 gold and the day's rations, I guess.
Mark it on your character sheet. He's like, give her the fucking tank trinket. He points to the other guy, this kind of like fighter-looking gnome over here. And he's like, he just hasn't said a word the whole time. He's just watching to see what this guy does. This rogue does, really. And he picks up his daggers, puts his daggers back in his sheath. To the bartender, you hear across the way, like, sighs, breathe. You know, he doesn't want blood spilt, but he can't do shit.
Yeah.
Because this guy owns the place, I guess. Mm-hmm. And he's like, is that all you wanted?
I just want the gear, and that's it.
No, they hand you the gear. So you have the gear you want to. You can mark it on your character sheet. He's like, get the fuck out.
And I just dash out.
Okay. Kind of just scurry off, kind of frantic
like,
and panicking.
Like speed walking out.
He speed walks out. Boom, boom, boom. You're out.
I guess I just find like a gear. I guess.
Yeah, it's fine. So you make your way back to the tinker's place. The Gears. What's the name of the shop? Let's look it up. You make it back to Gears, Gizmos, and Gadgets. He's like, you see the gnome there. Wilner. He's still working away. You were gone maybe about another half hour. You were gone for about an hour.
Okay.
But you've been just dashing over town. as you're coming back, you pass by the town square, and you can see it in the middle of the town square as you're walking by it. This giant black obelisk. And I'll make a religion check for you. You rolled an 18. I'm not going to tell you in the future what you roll, but just to kind of just tell you, I'm not fudging your rolls or anything.
Yeah.
But in the future, I won't tell you what you roll. So what it is the obelisk represents a symbol of the darkness. And when a god or a great thing of renown is there, they end up replacing it with the darknesses. And so they take the old god, destroy it, and replace it with this black obelisk, which is a symbol of the darkness. And it sits there, a giant thing in the middle of town square. You look out in the Grange and you see the slaves that are branded, loading the ships with grain to be transported off to feed it. And you look as you're walking, you're like, man, I should have ate those rations before I gave it to him. As your belly is like starting to grumble a little bit, and you have no food.
Yeah.
And the whole city's in famine. You look around and you kind of see what's going on with all the people starving.
Yeah.
And the city is turned into just like a powder keg. With just everything, like the entire city is starving. You're starving. You can't take it anymore. This is it, but you make it back to Wilmer. And he's like, so? You're back so quickly?
I just like shake up my hands. Oh my god, that was the most stressful thing I've ever done. Oh my god.
Yeah, you can't be. Now you know how I feel. He comes in and takes whatever he wants. You just slap the gear and he's like, perfect.
It's like,
he's like, this will take me about, probably till about sundown to complete. But I'll need your help. He looks at your clothes and you have the embroidered. You're proud of your gnomish heritage. So you have this like, you kind of have a brand on your clothing showing you're part of the guild, the Tinkerers Guild, which is why he's been just so receptive to you. Anyways, he's just speaking to you in gnomish.
Yeah.
And he's like, so who was your father? Who taught you how to speak the language of the gnomes?
My human family died when I was very young, and it was...
You're building the gun, this pistol.
Yeah, we're just building it. Like
the pistol's pretty big, like it's pretty large.
Yeah.
It's like that big.
And it was I don't know, it was Sir Boris of Godor. He took me in because his sons just weren't interested, but I was always fascinated with building things, and I like building things, and yeah. It was just always so interesting.
Oh, okay. And you guys are just keep building here. Keep building the items and just having slowly but surely, and the time goes by, you see the sun begin to set. You guys are just making a good time. He's also from Gedden, just like you. He became a refugee years ago, but found his way to, being a skilled craftsman, he made his way to Orin. He made his way to Stormbrook here, where he opened his shop up. He's not like you. He's not willing to go out and like risk his life because he's just seen too many people die. The sun goes down, and he's like, he's just taking it. He's like polishing it with the last parts of varnish on it.
Just look at it like
he's
this.
taking all the other parts that he kind of had, and he has the final parts. You help him put in that final piece into the gun, and it clasps, and it's like kind of like a 6-shooter. It has a little chamber where you load in the rounds. It has 4. The cylinder thing is a square, has 4 rounds that rotate. There's embroidery, engravings, I want to say, across it that are kind of embedded that can be with more money. If you had more money, you could make it even fancier, but the inlay is there for you to create it. And he's like, it's not my finest work, but it'll work.
Perfect.
Nobody knows how to use this. And he's kind of he's staring at it and kind of like just sadness. He's like, no one remembers how to use these like they used to. When the war came, and when we fought off the last invasion, the guns didn't even help. So I don't even know why I have even the parts around to make it anymore. And
guess you still holding out to hope a little bit.
Well, at least you have hope. He hands you the gun. He's like, he hands you the gun. He looks up and kind of smiles. 1 second. Just gonna look at this real quick. And he says, now that'll be 150 gold pieces.
Yeah. I knew it.
He kind of like smiles a little bit. He's like, well, how much? I thought maybe he would shake you down for everything, but I hear your gold badge jingling all day around us, so how much you got left?
I've got 13 gold. I've got nothing.
Now, give me the 13, and, well, actually, give me 12 back because you need a place to stay, right? So you have 1 gold piece, so you need to get a room at the inn.
Mm-hmm.
So what's 150 minus 12? He writes it down on a piece of paper, and it's a debtor slip. These are slips that it's used sometimes by merchants when they kind of extend lines of credit.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, he hands it to you. He's like, just pay me when you can. I'll give you, and he's like, but I'll give you 30 days. You got 30 days to pay me.
Okay. I'll figure something out for 30 days.
So if you don't pay the bill, how it works is that he sends the debt collectors after you. Mm-hmm. And these guys always collect their debts.
So it's 100 and how much? Sorry.
I don't know. It's 138 gold that you owe him.
8. Yeah, so I'm gonna remove whatever I have left of this.
And he's like, well, we're about to close up shop. He's like, no one else came in all day. He's like, yep, business has been slow. Thank you very much. And he's like, I will see you later. Shuts the door.
Yeah, I'll see you too. Bye. And then close.
And he flips over the sign. See you later. Like a little sign there. And you look out and there's still like just something strange, all day just going around town. People have been anxious, it's not good. So I'm going to go over here to the day calendar. We're going to actually move it the time. It's actually now about 6 o'clock. And I'm going to flip the counter and it's sundown actually. So I think that is 12 plus. This is 4 o'clock. So 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock is 2. Right, 12 plus 6 is 18. So yeah, right here. But sundown happens, and every night. So this is like your second or third night here in Stormbrook.
Yeah.
Time kind of just blends for you. You don't have a lot of sense of like you finally were able to make it. You traveled all this way, and you finally got this gun made. Mm-hmm. But you are now deeply indebted to this gnome.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it would take an average person, maybe years to just pay off this debt that he has. So that's how rare this item is. That's why people don't use it. You have enough gunpowder on yourself. You've made it yourself. And you have 25 bullets that you get. And he kind of gave you some bullets, as just an added bonus.
Okay.
And then you hear the chanting on the ramparts and the docks. And the Urks are all banging their sticks as the sun goes down. And they call out. Bull! It's just a ritual they do every night. You can hear them all synchronously, and they're all like screaming, Bull! Bull! And you already rolled the religion check. Bull is the darkness's true name.
Boo, like B-U-L?
B-O-O-L.
O-O-L, Bool.
Bull. It's the darkness's true name. It can only be spoken by those who serve the darkness. People who don't serve the darkness cannot speak his name. for a great bending happens to them. And it's so no one dares speak the darkness's name. So people call it the darkness. Because people don't know what it is. It's just an evil force. And some people associate it just with the Urks themselves. The chanting gets louder and louder. And you're just wandering your way. You have a gold piece. You want to just maybe go find refuge in maybe one of the vacant houses, or you want to pay the gold piece to the innkeeper? Or do you want to go buy some food at the market?
Question.
Sure. Because you're getting hungry.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Are there like some actually like, is hunting allowed?
You're deep in the city. There is the docks, so maybe you could use a survival check if you want to go try to catch some fish. What do you want to do?
Yeah,
but you don't know if the Urks will allow you to fish. It might not be easy.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that.
You've never tried it before.
Yeah.
And you don't have a fishing pole. You don't have that stuff.
I think I'll try and look for a cheap inn where I can get a meal and a bed for less than a gold piece, or one gold piece max.
Yeah, I mean, you heard of an inn. They're usually by the docks where the sailors go when they're exhausted. I don't have the map pulled up, but I can pull it up here real quick. You know, you're kind of making your way over here, just kind of next to the dock. You've kind of just been in the same area. It's an inn that's doing it, and you're able to do it, and that takes you about a half hour. All the chanting ends, you know, shortly after. It only lasts about 15 minutes, but once the Urks are done, they all drink their grog, and they're just partying and celebrating off the broken backs of the people. The grog is strong ale mixed with blood. The Urks love to drink, and they're just bloodthirsty creatures. You don't make eye contact with them. A lot of people avoid them, but they're here just as because of a cause. You know, they're just here because. And you finish eating your meal. You're like, God, it's been such a long day. Mm-hmm. And you know, you're just like, God, what the hell am I going to do now? I'm totally flat broke. But I got my gun. I have some bullets and stuff. I guess that helps out a little bit. But then you see it in the distance, some fires. The drums start erupting, and a lady comes in. She's like, the town is burning down!
What?
And they say, everyone out! And you just look, and you see in the stained glass out the window, you see just fire. The city is caught on fire.
Okay.
What do you do?
Well, okay, I'm trying to...
You finished your meal.
I yell,
you're just trying to...
everybody get out! And I try to push everyone out of the house.
And they start listening to you because you look a little bit more like aristocratic than, say, like the average common folk or the working folk.
Yeah.
And other guys are like, don't touch me, as you push them out. But then they...
Just get out.
You all get out, and you see it's like just pandemonium and chaos. There's drums beating everywhere. Now the Urks, you know, when they bang the drum, they're trying to summon help to that area. But all the drums are being banged. There's a massive fire. There's just chaos, pandemonium, women screaming, children are screaming. And what do? There's just people running everywhere. You see Urks trying to keep control of everything. Uh-huh. And then there you see it. You're kind of like dashing around an alleyway. You're like, what's going on? You're like looking around. There's just fires everywhere. It's not safe. But there you see like Urks are now cornered some peasant folk, and they're starting to attack them. With all the fire and commotion, you could do something if you want. And you see one of the Urks take the battle axe and raise it, and he's about to cut down a woman.
I take crossbow and shoot.
Crossbow or your gun?
I get, but there's The gun has more boomy booms, so I think I'm gonna
It's 1d10, right? That's the damage on it.
On the piss. I need to breathe.
You're okay. Deep breaths.
It's 1d10.
I'm just trying to pull it up. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go to your character sheet over here.
Am I at?
Are you what?
Am I at level 3 or?
No, you're not. After this. So I'm gonna actually unlock your rollers. So let's actually assume that you're just gonna use your gun from now on.
Okay.
If you don't want to, if you want to use your crossbow, that's fine too. But let's increase the damage. It's still a D8, but now the damage, I'm gonna remove that there and add a D10 plus 4 because that's the modifier, I'm assuming. But we can double check once where we actually level up for real. I'm just gonna lock these now. So now it's gone up from D8 to D10. And then you get to use your gun. So this is us practicing with your gun a little bit. And now I'm gonna blindfold you, load the map and everything.
Okay.
You're in kind of some just like back alleyway. You're the Stormbrook streets. Sometimes it takes me a while to like load the scene up and stuff, right? So I'm just gonna load your character in so you kind of see, and I'll show you where you're at. You kind of describe what fires are blazing around you. You don't know what the hell's going on. You've never heard of this happening. You think to yourself, this is some type of coordinated attack on the city. And you think to yourself, the powder keg we were talking about earlier, it must be happening. And so let me just make sure here. I'm going to unblindfold you. So you're over here.
Okay, I'm here. Okay.
So you see a giant warg rider. And here's the guy, here's the orc trying to chop down the woman right here.
Okay.
So you have a round of surprise before you can do anything. So there's no quote-unquote thing called a surprise round if you want to be a rules lawyer about it. You get a surprise action if you want to call it, like you can move and shoot. But you're coming up from behind the orcs, so obviously with all the noise and commotion, if this was all quiet, you'd have to make stealth rolls. So I'm going to allow you to do a move and an action before, so you can get into position if you want to.
Yeah.
So you see the whole city's just burning. Yeah. Here, pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it's really cool. All right, so I tried to come closer to the orc who's trying to kill the woman, but not.
Yeah, you see him right here.
30. Where is my weapon?
Well, it's a sharpshooter. You don't get disadvantage now.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? See, aren't you glad I'm such a nice guy and I helped you?
Yeah,
you can defeat these bad orcs.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I would try to shoot the guy.
Okay.
So.
Okay, let me load up the table here because people are probably like, what is going on? Just kind of show this cool battle map. So the whole city is kind of burning down a little bit. Buildings are falling over a little bit. But you're looking around inside the buildings. It doesn't look like anybody's really running out of the buildings. Where you've kind of run to in the city right now, from the outside of that inn, is I'm gonna roll a perception check for you actually to see if you even know what we're talking about. Because you have a pretty high perception.
Mm-hmm.
You just notice the buildings are all vacated. But they're burning down. So something's happening. All the buildings are vacated, but nobody's doing it. But some orcs have caught some people in the street, and they're just starting to attack them. So here you go. Don't make me throw the timer down on you.
Yeah, no, I'm coming closer to try and shoot the guy who's attacking.
Move your model. Move him into position.
Sorry. Yeah. So
there's 6 inches. That's your move.
6-ish.
Yep. So you're kind of out in the open. They don't notice you. Okay. And if we do a measurement, but we don't need to now since you have sharpshooter, you're 9 inches away. So you don't attack. Normally you would attack, I think it's up to 12 inches. So you're still in range if we didn't have your sharpshooter. Just something to think about, but it doesn't really matter. Roll to hit.
Okay. Roll it. Okay, so go down.
Oh,
here.
yeah, because it's a surprise round. Roll to hit.
Yeah. Okay, so roll. The first one we said was the gun?
If you do you want to, first of all, do you want to attack with the regular attack or you want to use great weapon, essentially sharpshooter? Remember with the plus 10 damage?
The
4 bullets are loaded in the chamber. You cock it back.
Yeah,
But
okay.
you hold both your hands as steady. You get laying down the sights as the Urk is about to barrel down his giant axe on this poor woman.
Yeah. So go sharpshooter. So we ignore the first one that I rolled.
Oh, no, we don't.
Okay, so
it's the first one we do roll. You rolled a natural 1. Your gun jams. You see that? Original roll is 120. Actually, that's crazy. You rolled a critical success and a critical failure.
Wait, how does that... Okay, yeah.
Do you see how it works? Original roll 1 and 20.
Yeah.
So you didn't actually roll with the sharpshooter feat. You just rolled a regular attack. You see that? Because we added 8 instead of 3.
Yeah.
Your gun jams. They still don't notice you. But now we roll initiative. So you got to spend an action to unjam your gun. Yeah, but you don't waste a bullet. Right? We don't waste a bullet if your gun jams. From what I understand.
No, I think I just
hit the roll button. Now I have all the other characters already listed because their initiative tokens are out on the table in their spots. Mm-hmm. But if I go down, hostile group 1 rolled an 11, so they go ahead of you. Right? Do you see that? Do you understand what I'm doing?
I saw it. I see it on the side. Yep.
Okay, just so things. Okay. And as your gun jams, you curse the gods. The woman's head is chopped off. So I'm just going to delete her model there. And the Urks are like, ah! And you see there is like a soldier, though, back here. It's a little unusual. And he's trying to help out. So I'm going to roll for the Urks first.
Like a soldier, like...
He's trying to kind of lead these people. He's trying to help these people out. So you're not totally alone out here. Urks roll to hit. The first one misses against the commoner. The second one hits, rolls damage, 5 damage, another commoner is killed.
Shit.
This one kills the other workman here. The warg is just kind of making sure he's not really moving or doing anything, but he's just there. It's a goblin warg or an Urk warg rider. Your gun is jammed. They haven't even noticed you because you haven't made a single sound. With all the guns blazing, the commoners are attacking back. Miss. Hit.
Okay. They
do 4 damage to the Urk, this Urk here. And so I have these little tokens because when we start doing big complex fights, this Urk here, see I drew up the little token, is taking 4 damage. Pretty cool, huh? Mm-hmm. This guy right here. So we keep track of it. So he's not dead. And this fighter moves up to attack this Urk here. I'm going to roll it. Miss. It doesn't hit. Their swords and the sword and the axe cling together. You can barely hear the noise of it. It is now your turn. I'm going to move the initiative counter down. You see that? And how it lands on you, and I call your name out. It's your turn. And look at this. So I'm going to slap the timer on you. You have 2 minutes to decide.
Damn it. Okay, so my gun is jammed, and
you can move and take an action.
I can move and take an action to deep damage. Okay, so I'm gonna go in the corner here.
Around the corner a little bit, sure.
Yeah, to like hide from these guys.
You're not gonna hide. Hiding is an action. You have to unjam your gun. But you're behind cover now.
Yeah, so I would have like 3/4 cover or something.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna dejam the gun.
You dejam the gun. You pull out your tinkerer's tools real quick. You're like, fucking A. You're like, what the fuck happened? You almost felt like you had a great shot in there.
Yeah.
And there's just some piece of dirt or something in there.
Yeah.
And you quickly
undo it.
Do you roll that
or I roll that?
Do we have to roll it?
No, I mean, you roll that or I roll it, because tincture checks I need to have 8 or more to successfully fix it.
Oh, you actually have to roll a check on it? That sucks.
Yeah.
Why don't you, I'll allow you to roll your check or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know what the bonus is on it for you.
Yeah, I don't know. Wait, I had it. Check out DC of 8 with the tinker tools, or it is broken. I have to fix it with 1/4 of the cost of the firearm.
That's right.
Yeah.
So roll it.
Yeah.
Just roll a d20 and just see what you get. That's the simplest way to kind of do rules like this, is just roll a d20 if you roll high or low.
Yeah.
Now you know the secret of being a DM.
Roll here. 16. It's
you
good.
unjam the gun.
It's fine. Okay.
Next turn you'll be able to fire it.
Yeah,
Now we go down to the initiative counter. I move it to round number 2. I'm back up to hostile group 1 / the NPCs. The Urks go first. Attack 1, miss. Hit. Oh, that's a hit with the Urk. And the Urk does 12 damage to the other to this other commoner here. Kills the commoner. They're just slaughtering these peasants. There's your timer going off. Okay. So you're good. See, I only do that if you're really messing around with me.
Yeah.
The fighter and the commoner attack back. Here's the fighter. Miss. And the commoner rolls a nat 20.
Yeah.
The commoner takes just a makeshift staff, jams it into the eye of the Urk that was already kind of hurt. You just hear him scream this blood-curdling scream and just drop dead. I'm going to also delete the HP token that was there. And now, so he was in, so this is a great, like a little thing for you. This is all this is to try to help you with how combat works. So he made his attack. Now he can make a move action. He makes a move action up to the warg.
Oh boy.
The warg passed on his turn and basically is fine, you know, but these people are starving to death. They have no other option. I'm actually gonna, now it is your turn, Malory.
All right. So I am going to try and shoot at the warg.
Let me show you something.
Doggo.
I'm gonna show you something kind of cool. Hit the F4 key. That's your ruler, right?
Yeah. Okay. Here.
Yep. And then if I just left click once, it actually does a little arrow. Just left click at the pointer. And that's like you can say, hey, I'm attacking this guy. Okay. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
So roll to attack. Do you want to use your sharpshooter?
Roll this fucking thing. Yeah, I'm gonna use the sharpshooter.
Okay. Roll for damage or roll for hit.
Roll for that. I got
a 12.
12. Wait,
because you added a +3, right? So you rolled a natural 9 and /7, but you rolled a 9 because we count the first number +3. Because remember, it's 8 minus 5.
Okay.
Right.
So does that hit?
I will say it hits for the brevity of it. So let's roll damage.
Damage. 19.
You shoot this blunderbuss off. It echoes out into the night sky. Everybody hears it. The fighter notices you. The Urk notices it. He like looks back at you as this goblin, whatever you did to unjam your gun, just worked. This goblin, just this hail of bullets comes out of your gun, almost like a shotgun blast of shrapnel and everything. And the goblin and the warg rider are just obliterated. Okay, it's now you attacked. You didn't move at all. You get to move if you want to. Do you want to move?
No, I think I'm gonna stay here, yeah.
Okay, great. So now I'm gonna move the turn slider down. This will unfreeze. So we're on turn number 3. I roll back to hostile group 1. The Urk turns around and notices you, and he's gonna charge in and attack you.
Oh no, it wasn't far enough.
But he's disengaging with this fighter here, so he provokes an attack of opportunity. So the fighter, because the Urk is just disregarding recklessly, and the fighter, which you don't know his name, just attacks just recklessly at him as he attacks, and he hits with 5 damage. So let's bust out one of the counters that I have, the HP counters. This is something new I just started putting in the game. You're the first person to see this. So it helps me keep track of all this shit.
Okay.
So we have like 1,000 minions with HP or whatever. It's just super helpful.
Yeah.
And the Urk takes an attack on you.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Help.
He barrels his axe down you. 18 to hit. Your AC is 15.
15. Yeah.
He rolls for damage. You take 10 points of damage as he barrels into your arm.
Yeah.
Or actually, let me roll the random thing here. We'll see what he hits. He hits your stomach. He just comes up into your stomach. Doesn't penetrate your armor, but it knocks the wind right out of you. It is now. I'm going to move the initiative counter. Oh, it's now the soldier's turn, right? Because I'm rolling for them. He comes up behind. Now he's flanking. Essentially, I'm going to just move this right here because he's a semi-intelligent creature. Now, certain creatures might attack differently based on just who they are as a character, their intelligence, like You know, some centipede is not going to be like some highly intelligent creature trying to outflank you. But he's going to flank you, this guy.
Yeah.
When they flank, you get +2 to attack. So he's going to roll to attack. He comes up behind the Urk, but the Urk is wearing hide armor. Does not penetrate. Your turn. I think I moved the counter over. And now we're on your turn in round number 3. Your turn, Malory.
So...
The Urk looks hurt, though. He's taking some damage.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to switch for my short... Because I don't want him to have an opportunity attack if I
He does not get an
back.
opportunity of attack against you. If you shoot with them with your gun. Now, here's the thing. If you shoot your gun at him within 5 feet, he also takes a D8 damage if you hit with the fire damage.
Yeah, okay.
Because imagine just tons of sparks are just flying out of this gun. We're not talking like a Smith & Wesson. We're talking about a steampunk gun built by a gnome in a crazy shop.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so let's shoot him again, but not...
you roll it. You don't need to tell me. You can just roll it.
Yeah.
Hit.
17?
You point it right at his face. Pull the trigger. Now you roll 14 damage, but just for brevity's sake. So you hit him really hard, right? So you rolled a nat 10, actually, right? You rolled max damage.
Oh yeah, I did.
Cool, huh? But since you're point blank, he's in 5 feet of you. All the sparks and deafening sound barrels out of this gun. Roll an extra D8 damage. So you use the little slide, this thing over here, right?
Yep.
Pick the D8, which is right here. Click
one.
it and roll.
And roll that shit.
So now it's a +2, so he takes 16 damage.
16.
You just blow his head clean off. And the guy right behind him, since there's the guy right behind him, his brains just cover all over his face. And he just looks at you stunned. He's like, the guy looks at you. He doesn't know who you are or what you're about. I'm just going to delete this. He just takes off running.
You're welcome.
And let me pull up the thing here. So that is the end of this fight. Let me clear off the table here.
Okay.
So as the fight ends, the burning is coming down, but you don't know what's going on. But then you suddenly see like men are putting out the fires, and then you're just seeing Urks just run off, and they're speaking Orc, and you don't understand Orc.
No, I don't.
They're saying something in Orc, and like Igat, Usha, Umar. It's a foul language. You never wanted to learn it. So they end up taking off, and they're scurrying off in the night. The fires are being put out, and you're hearing whispers, and like the people are talking. As the night is going on, it's a long, exhausting night. You don't know what's going on. It's just absolutely pandemonium. But the night is beginning to die down, and there's rumors. You hear of them. They're like, someone killed Egad. Did you hear that? The war chief is dead. And they're like, what does this mean? Who did it? You hear these commoners. What do you do? Saying these things. What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah, what do you do?
But I don't think I didn't do that. I just kind of silently listen and see what I gather, I guess.
Yeah, it's just you hear like they're like, who killed him? They're like, is it true? It's like, are we free now? And you kind of are curious. You're like, what the hell is going on? You're just walking around. There's no Urks anywhere, and men are patrolling. People are smiling and happy. As the night goes on, it's like you spend you're all night. You're like excited. You're like, wow, I got to use my gun and it's working great. I wish I could tell the gnome about it, and tell him how great he did, of craftsmanship he did. But you go by the docks and the ships are all coming back with the grain. And the Urks are all done. Something has happened. And they say, "Are we?" And you hear just more people talking, and they're like, and a man comes up, he starts shaking you a little bit, he gives you a big hug, and he's like, "We're free, we're finally free."
Indeed, we are. Yeah, they're gone. I wasn't expecting that actually at all.
And he says, "Thank Lord Marcus and House Vigil. I've heard it is Lord Vigil and Marcus's men. The word is out. The heroes are coming back." And he just walks off. And you think to yourself, being kind of an adventurer, you're like, I should meet these guys. I need to meet this Marcus, find this Marcus, Lord Marcus.
Yeah, Lord Marcus.
Okay. Now I will roll an insight check just because to give you some more information.
My insight is pretty good.
I know, but I rolled a nat 1.
Off.
So you don't know anything more than this.
Just like...
And I'm going to assume you kind of just you go back to the inn. Mm-hmm. It's got to be midnight. And you wake up, you're just exhausted. You're cleaning your gun. You're alone. The fires have died down. The smoldering has happened. You were curious, so you asked about like what was up with the fires, and some of the men are like, it worked. It was a plan. We vacated the houses to cause a distraction for Lord Marcus's and his men to break in and kill Igot.
Huh. And how do you know who this Lord Marcus is? How did you pick up on his name?
You're talking with like a town's guard before you go to bed, I guess. Like one of the, I want to say, fighting men who's been working. He's been working all night, just kind of keeping the peace now. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, Lord Marcus, he came in a few days ago. And he met up with Ian, who is the advisor for the Vigils. He's sort of the, I want to say, he's the main power. He's not Lord Vigil, of course. Lord Vigil is ill. But Ian and Marcus met, and supposedly there's supposed to be a wedding soon. Good for him.
Yeah. Good for him.
There's supposed to be a wedding celebration if he was able to liberate the city, and we'll just say these are not the first adventurers to try to liberate the city.
Well,
it's a night for drinking and celebration. You should be with someone. You should not be alone tonight.
Yeah, I literally do not have a single penny on me, so...
Well, I could say the same thing. The Urks always take everything.
Yeah.
But thank God, I can barely believe it myself that they're finally kicked out. And
hopefully we'll be able to
he points to
a bit more.
He points to the keep. Now the keep is on this like area. Let me load up the map again so you can kind of see it. Let me just build this real quick. And the keep, so here is House Vigil over here. If this thing will load up. Oh, it's over here. There's House Vigil. There's the town square. The keep is over here, though. The keep, as he points to it, it's all like in ruins. It was destroyed during the last war, and the Urks never rebuilt it. It's just laying there. The Urks never rebuild what they did. They just come in, take over, and then just tax the shit out of everyone. And just extort and just consume to fuel the invasions for the darkness further. But you've never heard, this is the first time in maybe a decade that you've heard of someone fighting back and winning. And you think to yourself, is this the tide, the turning of the tide that is supposed to be happening? And, you're like, who are these people that were able to do this? Who are these adventurers? Because all the heroes of the land, whoever standed up to the Urks, they just get their asses whooped. So that's the end of our adventure for the day. What'd you think?
I need to work on my role playing a little bit more.
You're fine. You're doing great.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I still need to figure out like what the character wants and what I want, because for me I was like, no confrontation, but like Mallory would be
So
like,
you want to be more of a pacifist?
no, I want to play her. I would like to play her differently than what I did today.
What, like shooting an orc and Brent head off?
No, I mean like dealing with like the dad gnome guy, the thief guy. That was
Gilmore,
complete. Calman.
Yes, Calvin.
That was that was.
You know, it's going to take about 4 or 5 sessions for you to start getting comfortable in the skin of your character, thinking about your character. And obviously, too, D&D is supposed to be like kind of a group game, but this is like just a little warm-up session where you get to feel for what's kind of coming down the pipe. And this is your last stop before we get on the train.
Yeah.
And just to kind of make sure you're on the same page and you're excited and this is what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm good
Every
with that.
Sunday.
Every Sunday, yeah, from 5 to 9 Eastern.
That's right.
Yeah.
You pumped? You like it?
Yeah, I did like it. I have to work a bit more stuff and.
So you got your pistol. You got some
I got
bullets. You used a couple bullets, I think.
I think I've used.
We'll work out some.
The first one was jammed. The second one was shot, and then yeah.
We'll work out some of the details as far as how to actually get the materials. I'm not going to be a stickler about it. It'll probably cost like a gold a bullet or something like that to actually be able to fire around, including gunpowder and that. You have to have some essence of survival, but when you meet the other party members, they might be able to help you get that.
Okay, because in the D&D Beyond subclass gunslinger thing, they said that for 20 bullets is for 4 gold.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
So now you're level 3.
So I'm level 3.
So now you can level your character up, and we can do it for real or whatever we need to do to make you a real gunslinger or whatever it is.